Welcome to Bio 112. I am Professor Amy Scott, and I will be your instructor for this semester. Bio 112 basically builds on what you learned in Bio 111. We will be looking at everything from the most simple organism all the way to the most complex, and then we'll spend a little bit of time talking about ecology. So how do they interact together? What is our role in that as well? And so it should be a really fun semester. So most things I'll try to explain in person, but I just wanted to introduce myself and kind of hit some key points as you guys are coming into this semester. So throughout the semester, you'll have assignments that you'll be turning into me either in person or online. And so I just wanted to let you know about the format for your submission of that work. So when we do graphs, you will definitely have to do it on graph paper only. That's really important so that you can get it accurate and make sure that I understand what you are presenting. Your drawings or images should always be of good quality. No copying somebody else's work, no just grabbing it off the computer from some online search. That's pretty obvious. That's about academic integrity. But the important thing for me is when you're turning in assignments that are to be written, I will have you type them. I have reasoning for that. I've had people submit things that I absolutely couldn't read, and so then I can't give you credit for things I can't read, unfortunately. So also know that I have a PC, so if you are a Mac person, you're going to have to save your work as a PDF file so that I can actually open it. So let me repeat that. If you are a Mac person, any document that you're saving needs to be saved as a PDF before you submit it. That way I can open it. Okay, so that's my rules for submission of work. Let's talk about being late. I am a very prompt person, so this can sometimes be one of my pet peeves. For coming to class and to lab, I do expect you to be on time. As far as assignments go, your modules open on a Friday and you have an entire week to do the rest of the assignments. So you have plenty of time. So there really is pretty much no excuse for things being late. However, I do have a slight grace period. If you are going to submit an assignment late, which is always better than having a 0, I will take off 10% for every day that it is past due, up until 5 days after the due date. Past 5 days after the due date, I don't accept it. So, like I said, start early on your assignments, and this is a policy that is for assignments only. For exams, I don't accept those late. So you need to have that calendar in front of you. Make sure that your exam dates are on your calendar. Now, if you know ahead of time, say next month you have exam 2 and you have surgery scheduled, come talk to me. I can create a second exam for you to take ahead of time. But do not email me or call me or text me the day of the exam and say, oh, I can't do it today, because that will wind up in a 0. So that is my late assignment policy. Understandably, everybody wants to know, how do I calculate my grade? And that's going to be important. So in this course, we break it down into your lecture portion and your lab portion of your grade. The entire lecture portion is worth 75% of your grade, and your lab work will all be worth 25% of your grade. Okay, so then in each category, let's talk about that. Within the lecture, 50% of your overall grade is due to exams. So that is extremely important when you are studying. Exams are closed notes. They are not open. They are timed, and they will cover multiple modules. So it's important that you study for these. So I will go ahead and give you some tips on that. There's just all kinds of data that suggests that if you take notes from my lectures using pen and paper, old school style, yes, it's actually better for your brain to comprehend and to recall that information. Like so much better than actually typing notes. So I just want to let you know that ahead of time. I know it's tedious and it's old school, but it works. So there's my hint for that. You will have lecture assignments that are worth 25%. There aren't many of them, so when I assign them, you need to actually take your time and do them well. Occasionally, I will offer extra credit. Almost always, my extra credit will go towards your lecture exams, and that's because they're worth 50% of your grade, and that would be the most helpful for you. So my other hint is don't ever pass up an opportunity with extra credit assignments. Just do them. You may need them at some point. Your lab portion is worth 25%, and that's broken down into weekly lab quizzes, sometimes also assignments, that will be worth 10% of your grade. Those weekly lab quizzes will be online. You will come to lab, and then by the end of the week, you'll take those quizzes. They're very short. They're 15-minute quizzes. And then we will have lab exams. I believe there are 2 of those this semester, but don't hold me to that yet. And they are lab practicals. So in other words, there will be stations set up and you'll go from station to station and answer questions about the material in front of you. If that's new to you, don't worry. I'll go into more detail in lab so you'll know what to expect. But this is how you can calculate your grade. Usually at the beginning of the semester, the only grades you have are some small lecture assignment grades and your lab quizzes, and those are usually super easy grades. So in the beginning of the semester, you may be like, "Ooh, this is an easy class. I have a huge A." And then the exam hits and reality hits, and that's the harder part of your grade, and it's worth a lot. So I'm just fair warning you ahead of time, don't get overly comfortable with your high grade at the beginning of the semester, because the easy stuff is what comes first, and that's to just kind of get some basics in there before we go on to the harder stuff with the exams. Okay, so that is just my quick intro for the semester, and I really look forward to being with you guys.